no, please.
What is the internet saying about me this time?
Right.
So how do you have the name Machine Gun Preacher?
You
I
know-
mean, you look like a machine. I mean, he's pretty cool. He's like tatted up, you know. He look like a bikie.
You know,
Look awesome.
not a bikie. I'm a biker. You know, in America we don't say bikie, biker. You know. So, anyways, I went into Sudan, Africa, 23 years ago on a mission trip, and got in the middle of a civil war, and I started rescuing children. And about 18 years ago, somebody seen me walking down the road with an AK over my shoulder, and some children walking around me. And they were a missionary. They went back to the U.S. and they said, "Oh, this guy is not a man of God. He carries a gun. He shoots people." And somebody put a story out, and they titled it "Machine Gun Preacher," and it went on some big newspaper. Somebody sent it to me to encourage me, I guess. And I read it and I started crying. I said, "God, no one's ever going to have me ever speak again." And I could hear God say, "Stop your whining. Claim that name. That's your name, and it would be a marketing tool." Back then, there was no books. Now there's books, there's movies, documentaries, TV shows, clothing line. I mean, all this stuff. You know, a lot of people think, well, that's stupid. But you got to realize God can take the stupidest thing and the stupidest person like me, and he can take them clean to the top.
Amen, brother.
If you're willing. If you're willing to stand up for Christ.
Yeah. Whatever backstory, you know, whatever you've got, God can use that.
Absolutely.
And you are definite testimony to that. So tell us what you're doing over in Africa with the kids.
You know, right now, we started out by just the first orphanage that you see in the movie, Machine Gun Preacher. And it's one of the largest working orphanages in South Sudan, one of the largest. And but you know, most people don't realize that most orphanages at 15 years old in a third world country, you have to leave. More than 70% of those children end up in prostitution.
Wow.
So we have to do more.
Yeah.
So we have 5 orphanages, but then we started training programs to train young people in a skill and a trade. So now there's 5 orphanages, 3 training programs that teaches everything from farming, ranching, irrigation, teaching hotel trades, restaurant trades. We have 2 restaurants as well. We have bed and breakfast. We have a hotel. So we're training young people with giving them a future by giving them a trade.
Yeah, giving them a hope and a future.
Yeah, and right now,
Jeremiah.
it's amazing with the businesses we have.
Yeah.
We're working over 440 people a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
So what kind of difference does this make in these kids' lives? I
you
mean,
know,
it's
it
incredible.
literally gives them a future. You know, like if in the war area, from the Coney War, you have a lot of young women that are in their 20s that don't have no education, have no skill, no trade, and they were a victim of a war. They were maybe the wife to a rebel or something. Their own village don't want them back. So a lot of these women will just walk into the bush, sit down, and wait to die because they have no future. So what it means to them is we bring them into our farm, we bring them into our restaurant, we bring them into our hotel, we give them a skill and a trade. We don't want to keep these people working for us. We want to train them for 2 to 3 years, and then we want to get them a job outside of us so that way they can move on and we can train more people.
Wow, that's incredible. So, I mean, you carry around a machine gun. Not for a prop.
Not all the time. Most of the time's a pistol.
A pistol, okay. So you carry around some form of weapon, and that's
Right.
not for
Well,
show.
people always say, "What does a preacher need with a machine gun?" Good for offerings. I'm telling you, when I have the machine gun, I get the biggest offer. I'm telling you, I get a bigger offering. In the U.S., I do very well preaching because I carry the machine gun. No, I'm just kidding you.
That's great. So, what's the most dangerous situation you've been in?
Well, like I said, there was a lot of them. I was married over 30 years, so
Oh man.
there's something great about feeling fear when you serve God. There's something great about it, and the great thing is we call upon Him. So I don't mind getting scared, and I don't mind having fear, because those are the moments I feel the closest to God. And He always fixes the problem. So, you know, as soon as, I mean, I work in a war zone. I still work in a war zone. And it wasn't too long ago I'd done a rescue in the front line. So, you know, I face fear a lot. I run a security company. That's what I do for a living.
Wow.
And I work 265 people just in security. So there's always little issues. But there's one thing about feeling fear. It always brings you closer to God.
Wow, that is so good, brother. Thank you so much for coming
All
in.
right, God bless
You're an
you.
absolute legend. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
Keep preaching it. Keep looking after the kids.
All right, thank you, and God bless you.